Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are on, we're triple streaming, we're on YouTube, we're on X, and we are on TikTok. The crux of this live stream is, well, we were all worried about digital identification and the dystopian Britain. Turns out Sadiq Khan could be the next British Prime Minister. Now, I'm going to go with what mainstream media are talking about. But look, guys, if you're sat there and you think, no, that can't happen, that's impossible, that's never going to happen, let me just tell you things that have previously happened in the United Kingdom. Boris Johnson was the mayor of London. He was. Boris Johnson became British Prime Minister. The Conservative Party, the Tories, they had three different prime ministers without having a general election. They had David Cameron, they had Boris Johnson, they had Liz Truss, and they had four. Well, you know what? They changed it three times. Let's say that they changed it three times. They had Boris Johnson, they had Theresa May, and Liz Truss. So, yeah, they changed their prime minister. The Conservative Party changed prime ministers three times without a general election. Boris Johnson was London mayor. All the ingredients are there, ladies and gentlemen, for Sadiq Khan to become the next British Prime Minister. Now, if you've been following this channel for a while, we have been talking about that. Yes, we have, good sir. We've been talking about that. We've been talking about the real footsteps where Sadiq Khan could become British Prime Minister. And how do you, I mean, look, guys, where's this grooming gangs inquiry? Where's that gone? Where's that gone? It's just getting brushed under the carpet. Yes, we're going to do a grooming gangs inquiry. Now have your digital ID. What? I wanted a grooming gangs inquiry, not digital ID. Here's your digital ID. It's mandatory. What about the grooming gangs? Digital ID. What? Who voted for this? Nobody. We are already in dystopia, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't think we are in dystopia, go read George Orwell's 1980, George Orwell's Animal Farm. Once you've read that, that will better equip you to read George Orwell's 1984. Guys, look, it's absolutely bonkers what's going on right now in the United Kingdom. It does look like the United Kingdom is ground zero for, it does look like the United Kingdom is ground zero for apocalypto, or whatever is coming. So, right, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're on. Can you do me a real big favor? Like, comment, subscribe, share, bell notification. I appreciate I'm on a little bit early today. I've got to leave the house at, well, I said 8 o'clock. I don't think that's going to happen because I'm going to be on with you guys for at least an hour talking through this. I'm going to play you guys now a short video from Patrick Christie. Now, this was on, I think this was last night. So nobody was talking about this because people were all worried about the digital ID. I've not watched this video, so I may stop this at certain points. And who am I kidding? I always do this, don't I? I always say I'm not going to stop the video, but I always stop it. So I am going to be playing a video. That video will be, Patrick Christie's late edition. They're talking about, could things get any worse in the UK? Maybe Sadiq Khan is the recipe for that. As rumours swirl in London that Sadiq Khan may launch a leadership bid, Ben Leo and Patrick Christie react to the idea of Prime Minister Khan and what it could mean for UK-US relationships. Guys, look, if you've been following my channel and if you've been watching my stuff, you guys know that we are in for a US takeover. The United States, and I think it'll be a peaceful takeover. The United States are going to come in and they're going to take over. But we need to be in chaos in the United Kingdom first. It doesn't happen without chaos. So I'm going to play this video now. I'm not going to pretend I'm going to let it play because I won't be able to do that. I've not watched this video, so I'm watching it. I'm listening to it for the first time with you guys.
To some extent by Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham potentially trying to oust Sir Keir Starmer. The Telegraph, they're reporting that London Mayor Sadiq Khan is now going to run for the top job. Let's go. Stupid News presenter Ben Leo, who's in Washington, D.C. for us now. Ben, tremendous to see you, mate. I'm looking forward to tonight's show. But go on, I mean, this seems a bit nuts. I know you're personal friends with Sadiq Khan, aren't you?
Oh, he's such a good friend. Yeah, I really value him as a person. I think he's a great character. His politics as well. Goodness me. I mean, we're aligned for decades on that.
Do you know what? Just before I go on, I like these young kids who are like these. I like it. I do. I like it that we've got such a lot of young, fresh faces who are totally like, you know, we have got a load of young, fresh faces who are totally like dialed in. And, you know, it's just like more stuff that I've been talking about that we can see now. This golden generation, this generation of younger people that are growing up and they're like, liberalism is bullshit. I want conservatism. I want what's mine is mine. And if you want it, come and take it. Because I'm not going to give it you. Right? That is, I think, what's happening. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the golden generation. If you are 16 and under, I'm calling you the golden generation. Nobody's going to be talking about this now for a long time. But mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, if you are 16 and under right now, you are going to have to rebuild this country when you're about 40. However you rebuild it, that is up to you. It's a brave new world. Sorry, let me continue.
Absolutely love it. Massive globalist there. Jeff Patrick, Sadiq Khan rumoured tonight to be eyeing up a bid for number 10. Every man and his dog as well. Wes Streeting, Shabana Mahmood. But could you imagine? Could things get any worse in the UK and also for President Trump? I mean, imagine that. If Sadiq Khan became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, I've always said that I think things need to get a little bit worse in the UK before there's a mass awakening.
Jesus Christ, this guy's fantastic. Is he watching my channel? Is Ben Leo watching my channel? Things need to get worse, guys. They need to get worse. So I'm all for them getting worse.
We do have some sort of political revolution. Maybe Sadiq. Revolution, guys. Be under no illusion right now. This summer was the last chance that people had, and it didn't happen. This summer was the last chance, because we're in autumn now. This summer was the last chance. This summer was the last chance that the United Kingdom had to do things relatively peaceful. Because now, to change things, we are looking at a French-style revolution, gallows on the street corners, mob rule. And honestly, guys, I've seen the mob. You don't want to see the mob. I don't want to see the mob. Unfortunately, I think the mob is coming. Then the United States is coming. We're heading towards a United States of Great Britain. Khan is the recipe for that. I don't know. Wes Streeting as well, as I said, in the run for it, and Shabana Mahmood, lots of other people as well. But the Telegraph reporting tonight, rumours and whispers that Sadiq Khan is up for the top job. And I just wonder what President Trump would think of that. I mean, would UK-US relations be in the absolute gutter? What do you reckon, Patrick?
Well, they would have to be, wouldn't they? I think he was willing to overlook David Lammy calling him a neo-Nazi sympathising, woman-hating sociopath. And he's been willing to overlook the fact that Sir Keir Starmer's got a track record of absolutely despising him as well. But the thing with Sadiq Khan is, I don't think he would ever turn up to the White House and do what Starmer did, which is, offer him a letter from the king and all that. I think Sadiq Khan is so up himself. This is a bloke, Ben, that when he was knighted by the king, came out and said that the king apologised to him for not knighting him sooner. This is the kind of guy we're talking about here. There's no way he's going to go, well, I'm not.
So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. It does look like. Let me find this article from the Telegraph, because we were all focused, wasn't we? I'll admit it, guys. Look at the size of those apples, guys. I'm going to be talking about those apples later on. You know how I keep saying about the apple trees? These apples are huge. There's not. What's happened to the apples, guys? What's happened to the apples? Look, guys, we're under a takeover. We've got chaos. We're being subverted. We're about to have Sadiq Khan as British Prime Minister. But look at those apples.
Right, let me find this article, Telegraph. Yeah, there we are, guys. There we are. Sadiq Khan. Oh, no. Oh, where is that? Here we are. Got it. Right, give me a second, guys. I'll give you this. I'm reading this as a headline, ladies and gentlemen. This is from the Telegraph, 26th of September, 6:35 p.m. Oh, hang on. There's a little video of him.
He is racist. He is sexist. He is misogynistic, and he's Islamophobic.
Sorry, I can't. Hang on, where did that go? Like little Sadiqi, that's what I call him. I call him Little Sadiqi. Little Sadiq, he's a little guy. He's a little angry. He's done a real terrible job with London. I don't like what he's done with London. I want to have a golf course in London, but I can't have the golf course now because Little Sadiqi's moved in. How Sadiq Khan is positioned. I'm reading this headline now, guys, okay? How Sadiq Khan is positioning himself for a tilt at Downing Street. Andy Burnham, not the only senior Labour figure thought to be gunning for Keir Starmer's job. You see, here's the thing. Let's replay that. Hang on, I'm going to play that again. I hope I'm going to.
President Trump has shown.
So this is Sadiq Khan now talking on a bus.
I think President Trump has shown he is racist, he is sexist, he is misogynistic, and he's Islamophobic.
What? How do I vote for this guy? How do I vote for this guy who is not Sadiq? I'm talking about the guy he's talking about. Listen, you know, a lot of the words he's using there: racist, misogynistic, Islamophobic. Would that not come under racist? Like, if you're racist, like, what does like? I don't think. Look, here's a clear example of how Sadiq Khan. Look, guys, and I'm being quite objective here. I want to be fair to Sadiq Khan. Isn't racist? What is there a difference between racist and Islamophobic? Let's listen to him again. No?
I think President Trump has shown he is racist, he is sexist, he is misogynistic, and he's Islamophobic. I think.
Well, he gets my vote. So how Sadiq Khan is positioning himself for a tilt at Downing Street. Andy Burnham is not the only senior Labour figure thought to be gunning for Sir Keir Starmer's job. Yeah, so look, guys, this is out on the mainstream now. Remember, if you're following this channel, and I know you guys need to follow this channel because we give you what's happening in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months' times, long before it happens. So, guys, listen, if you're watching, can you do me a real big favor? Like, comment, subscribe, hit those notification bells. I do appreciate that I'm on a little bit early tonight. I've got to be out of the house. I've got to leave the house at 8. That's not happening. I'm going to be late. Also, in other news, if things couldn't get even weirder, so you know the digital identification, how we've all got to have digital identification and blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out, now, look, guys, before I get onto this, I need to caveat my next, caveat this monologue. Take this with a pinch of salt, all right? I'm looking at this for the first time. This is from I'm just going to read you an X post here. Now, I'm just going to read it. And then I'm gonna try and Google the key words in this. All right. So I'm gonna read it. What I'm gonna do right now is we're gonna get to this together, and I'm gonna give you my real-time analysis. All right. So the son of Tony Blair is the CEO of Multiverse, the company that will create the government's new digital ID. Does that seem fair? Does that seem like that's been put out on an open playing field? Tony Blair's son is going to be pushing out digital ID. Tony Blair is the man pushing this agenda behind the scenes. Are you surprised that his own son is the CEO of the company that has been selected to implement this? Digital ID is being touted as the solution to illegal migration, even though it logically will not change anything. Illegal workers are not hired officially through HR teams. They're not. And as there is already an established system which requires ID visa checks in operation, illegal workers are paid cash in hand on the black market. For the government to pretend that digital ID will stop illegal work is ridiculous, but it's also very telling. They clearly believe we are morons that we will believe anything. I think a big percentage of the people in the United Kingdom will believe this, guys. They will. You know, people who don't know what's happening, people that don't know how bad things are, people who can't see beyond their nose, they will believe what the government are saying. A lot of people will, guys, I promise you. And we know this because we all lived through the COVID era. This information shows you just how corrupt politicians are. I can guarantee that every government official, every mainstream media figure, every social media influencer are being paid to promote this agenda. The entire concept is ridiculous. All of the arguments for the system are laughable. Guys, can anybody, like, and I'm opening this up. I really am opening this up, guys. And this is a genuine question. Can anybody see, and honestly, guys, I don't mean, this is not rhetorical. I genuinely, like, as small as this is, can anybody just give me something good that would come of digital ID? And honestly, guys, just please try and dig deep. I've tried to do this in my own mind's eye objectively. Apart from it being convenient, but then, like, how would it bring more convenience? I don't see anything that comes. I just don't see anything good that comes from digital ID, guys. I don't. Anyway, so if they attempt to impose digital dictatorship, we will boycott council tax. Right. Okay. Right. So what I'm saying there is, Tony Blair's son is the CEO of a company called Multiverse, the company that will bring in the new digital ID system. So I'm just going to Google Multiverse CEO. Let's see what we get. Yeah. No, he's there. So that's okay. So conspiracy number one, tick. Ewan Blair is founder and CEO of Multiverse. Multiverse is a tech startup on a mission to create a diverse group of future leaders by building an outstanding alternative to university and corporate training. Okay, so let me go with this, guys. Multiverse works with over 1,500 businesses, helping them to embrace digital transformation, close skill gaps, and develop a diverse talent pipeline. Apprentices benefit from one-to-one coaching, applied learning, and community of social networking and leadership opportunities. So what do they actually do? I'm on the Multiverse website now, guys. Let me try and find the homepage. Apprentices, employers, life up, Multiverse, learning science. Right. I'm trying to find it. Look, guys, I'm doing this in real time. I mean, the website's really comprehensive. Nurses, lecturers, librarians, and surveyors all lead artificial intelligence adoption in the UK's invisible AI workforce, finds Multiverse. Multiverse and NHS teams collaborate to create a future-ready healthcare workforce. Guys, do you want to be scared? Do you want to have nightmares? I'll read you that again. I'll just read, look, guys. Remember what we've been talking about. And look, guys, I'm coming to this with you guys at the same time. I'm getting this information. If you don't know what I'm talking about, good, neither do I. I'm reading this stuff at the same time as you guys, so I don't know what I'm reading. This is on the Multiverse website, okay? Get ready for nightmares. Multiverse and NHS teams collaborate to create a future-ready healthcare workforce. I mean, that to me sounds like robots walking. I am going to give you medical assistance. Do not worry. Do not worry. I am artificial intelligence. I will help you. South Gloucestershire Council expands. See that? Okay, right. I'll be honest with you guys. This doesn't sound like the company that would bring in digital ID. It doesn't. It doesn't. So it may be fake news, guys. This real, honestly, you know, I'm trying to be as objective as I can be. This to me doesn't. This could be fake news. So we've got Multiverse. Right. Let me do Multiverse digital ID. There's nothing on that. Right, let me try and find some other keywords. So look, guys, like I said right at the beginning of this, when out of this little exploration, you've got to be careful about what you read online. So Tony Blair's son, yes. Ewan Blair, yes. He is the CEO of a company called Multiverse, yes. Let's be fair, his daddy started it for him and his daddy told him what to do and his daddy got him all the contacts. But you know what, guys, I do that, you know, I do that for my kids. So you can't really complain and moan that parents are doing that for their kids. So yes, he's the CEO of a digital identification company, but this looks like digital training. I don't know where this is going. I can't find anything. Hang on. I can't find anything that links these two things together. Now, that's not to say that that's not to say that it's not happening. That's just to say that I can't find anything with rudimental searches. Let me have a look in the thread. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I mean, I don't know. It may happen. He may be in charge of it. It wouldn't surprise me. But from what I'm looking at now, guys, this may be fake news. This may be fake news. So I may have debunked that. But certainly, Ewan Blair, is he an MBE? No, Ewan Blair is a member of the British Empire. All right, let's have a look at his Wikipedia page. His face. So Ewan Blair, born 19th of January 1984, is a British businessman who under no circumstances ever got any help or assistance from his mum and dad and has done everything off his own back. That's not what Wikipedia says, guys. Not all. That's not what Wikipedia says. It says Ewan Anthony Blair, MBE. He's an MBE. How did he become an MBE? Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. How the fuck? How This is bullshit. The fuck? So yeah, Ewan Blair, what has he done to get an MBE? What has he done to get an MBE? Jesus. So Ewan Blair has got. I'm more angry. I don't care. Honestly, guys, I don't even care about the. I don't even care about the digital ID right now. How has Ewan Blair got an MBE, a member of the British Empire? What's he done? Like, how did he get his MBE? Let me see if it says. I don't even care about this, guys. I'm just pissed off about this. Let me ask AI. Let me ask Grok. Honestly, this is dog shit. I don't want to get angry. I don't want to get angry. Should I start calling him out with Bob Villain as well? Maybe they can tag team me. Maybe they can. Maybe Bob Villain and Ewan Blair. They can come together at some sort of like love match. Ewan Blair was awarded an MBE by the Queen in the Queen's birthday honours in 2022 for his services to education. This recognition was primarily due to his work as the founder and CEO of Multiverse, a tech educational start. Like, you're not a startup if you're 5 years old. A tech education startup he co-founded in 2016. Honestly, like, how is that a startup? It's like 9 years old. Multiverse focuses in on providing apprenticeships, blah, 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 blah. Blair himself stated, Jesus, honestly, I just want to, oh, God. Blair himself stated that the MBE was a recognition of the collective efforts of his team at Multiverse, emphasizing their work in building an alternative to traditional university education. Do you know what, guys? On the outside, I agree with that. I do. I actually agree with what he's saying. I do. So I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest with you guys. I agree with what he's saying. I do think university's over, and at some point we're going to have like VR goggles on, and rather than like a lecturer give you a lecture on particle physics 101, you're going to have Einstein giving you that lecture. But how has he got an MBE? How has he got an MBE and I don't? I can guarantee you, I've spilled more blood in the mud than he has. I'm not going to go on to this, guys. I'm not going to go on to this. But he got, oh, hang on a minute. Here we go. The company's growth. So they managed to raise funding of $220 million in 2022. Valuing Multiverse at $1.7 billion. Obviously, guys, this has got nothing to do with his father. It's got nothing to do with the New World Order coming in and the little tentacles they're getting pushed into. I mean, look, well done to him. I do agree with I do agree with that. I do agree with that direction of travel. I do. But how has he got an MBA? So here's the thing, right? If you make yourselves, if your dad makes you billions of pounds, you get an MBE. Do you know how many friends like I've lost in the desert and I don't mean to be a dick, do you know how many friends I've lost in the desert protecting this country? And you'll never be able to hear about them. I'll never be able to talk about them. I'll never be able to. I'll never be able. Well, maybe one day I will. Maybe I'll just think fuck it one day and just tell you guys. I'll never be able to tell you about the friends I've lost in hot and sandy parts of the world protecting this country. I'll never be able to tell you about the men I've known who I consider better men than me. You know, I would only be worthy to walk in their shadows. I'll never be able to tell you about what they did for this country and how they willingly gave everything. And we've got little you and Blair, little you and Blair. Daddy, can I have an MBE? Oh yes, you, and here's another $1 billion. What's he done? I know one, guys. I'm not gonna do that. Right, I'm gonna get the questions, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, guys, I do apologize. You know, I don't apologize. It's my show. I get on whenever I want. I'm on a little early today, guys. I've got to be out of the house at 8 o'clock. I'm looking at the time now. That's clearly not going to happen. I'll give you. I'll do the full live stream. But first, I'm going to jump on to some questions. Rasta Bob is saying, and I bet you didn't even get thanks. And Blair gets handed everything. Yeah. You know what? It's funny, actually, because Rasta Bob is saying, I bet you didn't even get a thanks. I know a guy he was holding his rifle. So he was holding his rifle, right? As you do, you hold your rifle like that. Well, like that. And he got shot. The bullet went through his magazine. So he was holding his rifle like that, and it went through his magazine into his stomach, and it ricocheted off his spine. Obviously, he was man down. He got Kazabaked. We took his kit and equipment. We took all his kit and equipment off him. On that mission, we took all his kit and equipment off him. And when he got out of hospital, he went in to give the quartermaster the magazine because he had a bullet hole through the magazine, and I think they were like 20 quid each, the magazines. And as special thanks, because he got shot, he had to pay £22 for the magazine that got a hole in it. So yeah, as Rasta Bob is saying, sometimes you don't even people don't even say thank you to you. D-Marie Gen X is saying the post office has a contract for it. The post office has a oh, okay, I'm assuming, okay, so what she's saying there is the post office may have a contract for this. Look, guys, I don't know who, if you're asking me, I'm going to, if somebody came up to me and said, Sean, who do you think is going to run this digital ID? I would say Palantir. Palantir or a subsidiary of Palantir. That's the company I believe would be running this digital ID. Sean McKay is saying, my brother says the same as you, mate. He's horrified over this place. The current, Paul Poops is saying, this is what, yeah, so here we go. So Paul Poops is saying, the company, Paul Poops, are you saying that the company that you and Blair runs has reported tax losses for several years? Do you not see how this happens? There was another company called, and it just grips my shit, guys. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to tell you what I, like, I'm not going to tell you the other jobs that I do. I've got like 3 other jobs. I'm not going to tell you what those jobs are. One of them in particular the industry that we're in, it's so brutal. Like, I wouldn't be able to survive on loss every year. I have to do stuff. I have to provide goods, products, and services, and I have to get that money off customers. But we see all these companies that, oh, we're just going to fundraise, and we're going to have vol-au-vents and like little sweeties, and we're not going to do anything. Honestly, I would love to bring these people into the real world. Paul Poops is saying, yes, the information can be found online. Hidden Energy is saying, get in there for shares. Look, guys, I'm a firm believer. Right, okay, so all these, do you know what? I want to say all these companies are fake, but they're not, because he just managed to fundraise $220 million. So if I could fundraise $220 million, I would skim 20 off the top. That would be my personal little fund, and I would be castling myself. I would have like guards in suits of armors walking around saluting me, doing like a double-handed salute when they saw me. I would go, guys, honestly, I would be the best billionaire that the world has ever seen. Honestly, I think guys, look, I don't know how many gifts you guys would have to give me, but I think if we could raise a billion pound for me, I think I'd become Batman. I would. I'd be like Raven. I'd be like Raven. I'd be running around in the night, fighting crime, doing some wild shit. Why don't we have a Batman, guys? Why don't we have any real vigilantes? It's, I just wish we had some vigilantes. Right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining for the first time, if you're just joining, we are talking about the likelihood of Sadiq Khan becoming the next British Prime Minister. So I'm just going to play you again real quick a video that was, this will be the last time we play it. This was a video that Patrick Christie released yesterday. When everybody was worried about digital ID, well, it turns out Sadiq Khan is trying to slip in the back door. So let's just listen to this, guys, and then we'll give commentary. And I'll jump over to YouTube.
Have been dominated to some extent by Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Byrne and potentially trying to oust Sir Keir Starmer. The Telegraph, they're reporting that London Mayor Sadiq Khan is now going to run for the top job. Let's go. TV News presenter Ben Leo, who's in Washington, D.C. for us now. Ben, tremendous to see you, mate. I'm looking forward to tonight's show. God, I mean, this seems a bit nuts. I know you're personal friends with Sadiq Khan, aren't you?
Oh, he's such a good friend, yeah, a really valiant person. I think he's a great character. His politics as well, goodness me. I mean, we're aligned for decades on that. Absolutely love it. Massive globalist there. Patrick, Sadiq Khan rumoured tonight to be eyeing up a bid for number 10. Every man and his dog as well, Wes Streeting, Shabana Mahmood. But could you imagine, could things get any worse in the UK and also for President Trump? I mean, imagine that. If Sadiq Khan became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. I've always said that I think things need to get a little bit worse in the UK before there's a mass awakening and we do have some sort of political revolution.
Right, guys, I know I said I wasn't going to stop it, but look, you guys know that before following the channel, when I say I'm going to play a video and I'm not going to stop it, it clearly means I can't help myself and I will stop that video at some point. So what he just said there is, I'll just rewind it and we'll listen to it again.
Could you imagine, could things get any worse in the UK and also for President Trump? I mean, imagine that. If Sadiq Khan became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, I've always said that I think things need to get a little bit worse in the UK before there's a mass awakening and we do have some sort of political revolution.
Listen to what he said there, guys. And he's, who is this guy? Ben Leo. I like this guy, Ben Leo. I would like to take him for a few drinks with some of my pals. Really show him a good night, because I would get that guy absolutely wasted. I'd have him doing like, I can't tell you while we're on TikTok what I would have him drinking. But anyway, he seems like a good guy. I like him. what he's saying there is, you know, he's always said that he feels things need to get a lot worse before enough people wake up and we have some sort of political revolution. Well, I thought I thought that there was a potential of it happening this summer. I was talking about the summer of carnage. I didn't want to play it down. It just didn't happen, guys. It didn't happen. Now, so the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be to stop. So, for example, back in 97, if people had have just said en masse, no, we're good, we don't want migration into this country, it would have been really easy. Really easy. If we could have got 3 million people marching in London against migration in 1997, we'd be good now. We would be sweet. We would be absolutely sweet. But the problem is, people back in 1997 were guys, look, and I'm going to be honest to you guys, all right? In the 90s, people were too busy having a good time. They were. People were honestly, in the 90s, people were far too busy having a good time to realize what was happening with mass migration. If you lived in Rotherham, slightly different story. But it's raining. Can you hear the rain, guys? So the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be. And at some point, we're going to need like a French-style revolution with gallows and, lynch mobs. And look, guys, I'm not advocating for that 1 minute. For absolutely not. What I'm saying is that is what I feel is coming if something doesn't happen. Let's continue the video.
Maybe Sadiq Khan is the recipe for that. I don't know. We're streeting as well, as I said, in the run for it, and Shabana Mahmood, lots of other people as well. But the Telegraph reporting tonight, rumours and whispers that Sadiq Khan is up for the top job. And I just wonder what President Trump would think of that. I mean, would UK-US relations be in the absolute gutter? What do you reckon about that?
Well, they would have to be, wouldn't they? I think he was willing to overlook David Lammy calling him a neo-Nazi sympathising, woman-hating sociopath. And he's been willing to overlook the fact that Sir Keir Starmer's got a track record of absolutely despising him as well. But the thing with Sadiq Khan is, I don't think he would ever turn up to the White House and do what Starmer did, which is offer him a letter from the king and all that. Sadiq Khan is so up himself. This is a bloke, Ben, that when he was knighted by the king, came out and said that the king apologised to him for not knighting him sooner. This is the kind of guy we're talking about here. There's no way he's going to get... Well,
I like these two guys. They're fresh-faced. They've got a lot of, they've got a lot of energy between them. I like those two guys. What's his name? Ben Leo. He's one to watch, guys. I'm going to keep watching that Ben Leo. I may try and make contact with him. Right, I'm going to jump over to YouTube, guys. All right, the YouTube channel is going crackers at the moment, so I'm going to caveat this video. I don't apologize. It's my show. I'm on a little bit early. I've got to leave the house at 8. I'm well aware that's not going to happen. Not in a million years. I'm not going to be leaving the house at 8. We're triple streaming. We're on YouTube, X, and TikTok. Guys, if you can, please hit those buttons. The like, follow, subscribe, bell notification. Down there if you're on YouTube. Up here if you're on TikTok. And up there if you're on X. Share my stuff, guys, because that really does help me out with the algorithm. It drives things forward. So I'm just going to get the comments on... I'm going to start at the bottom of the comments on YouTube, because there's been so many. Endeavour to preserve, he's just saying, yes, the 90s were great. Food and fuel was cheap and I travelled everywhere. Can you remember that, guys? I can remember in my local garage, fuel, I think it went up to 60 pence a litre. And everybody was outraged. Oh, it's 60 pence a litre. Oh, it's 60 pence a litre. It's the end of the world. I'm like, oh, man, I'd love to go back to those days. When you used to put the, like, when you had like a 3-litre twin turbo car and you just used to whack that motherfucker in and just hit it till it stopped. And then you pulled it out. You went and get them £5. And then you was off on the open road. Oh, wasn't that beautiful? It was. Do you know what? I remember I was coming back from, I think it was like summer. Look, guys, I'm going to give you some nostalgia here. And I totally get it. I'm going off topic right now. But like I said, it's the Raven Show. I say what I want. If any of you guys have ever been in the military, there is no better feeling. None. There is not a better feeling in the world than when you're in the military, that first day of summer leave. The first day of summer leave, you get like a month off and you get paid. You know, you have your last meal or whatever, you're probably hungover, and you're in your car and you're driving home. This particular day, I used to have the Toyota Supra, the 3-litre twin turbo, the GZ with the Targa top. It's a fucking beautiful car. I'm gutted I sold it. I only sold it recently, actually. And I was coming back from, I almost gave you my, I was coming back from St. Atherd in South Wales. So I was going up, I think it's the A4, is it A449 or 499? It might be 449. You go up past Monmouth, and then you're like onto Birmingham, and it's like the slip road before you. Anyway, I was racing with a Ferrari 355. Obviously, we wasn't going over the speed limit, guys, and that I would never do that because that is illegal. And back in the early noughties, like you weren't allowed to do that. No one's ever allowed to do that, guys. So I was not going above 70. All right, we were just going very, very fast. And I had the roof off, and he had the roof off. I always think to myself, like, who was that guy? Because we were like weaving in and out of traffic together, and then he'd overtake me, and I'd overtake him, and I felt like we bonded. I did. I felt like I bonded with some random guy who we were speeding on the motorway. They were good times, guys. Anyway, they were good times. But sorry to go down that. Sorry to go down there, guys. All right. Sorry to go down there. All right. Sorry to go down that road. Endeavour to Preserve is saying, yes, 90s were great food. Food and fuel was cheap, and I travelled everywhere. The price of food, guys, honestly, I've got that image in my head now. And we had like, you know, when like CDs, what was it? Was it LimeWire where you could like rip music for free? I had that. Is it like Dr. Pressure? Is it like the like Dr. Pressure remix? That was like the big thing at that time. And I was blasting that engine, guys. I was blasting that 3-litre twin turbo engine. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, when food and fuel are cheap, everyone's happy. Everyone's happy when food and fuel are cheap. Silly is saying Israel gave Ukraine Patriots, Patriot missile systems. That's good. So on the Ukraine front, guys, yes, of course it's good. Although what I think the problem here is the Patriot missile system. The missile's at least 100 grand. Let me just. How much is a Patriot missile? What? Yeah, so, okay, right, okay. Got two things I want to talk about here, guys, okay? So Silly Gallardi is saying Israel gave Ukraine Patriots, which is a good thing, which it is. The problem here is I'm reading this, guys, off this is off AI. I struggle to see how this is real. No, this is from, okay, I'm going to go with this. This is from Reuters. Okay, this is from Reuters, guys. Each Patriot missile costs $4 million. Does that maths add up? So remember what we've talked about previously on this channel. If the Russians are sending, what can I use as a Patriot missile? As a drone, I don't know. The bad guys are sending cheap drones, and you're sending a missile up that's $4 million to intercept a drone that's like 50 grand. Who wins, really? Like, who's the winner there? You're spending $4 million, they're spending 50 grand. Yes, they've stopped your interception, or is the real mission to deplete your missiles? So yes, it is good news. I think new innovative methods need to be developed. I think, and look, guys, if there's anybody watching here from the military industrial complex, trust me, guys, I'm always right. Use 762. 762 will deal with this. I think like 762 is what is it, like $1 a round or something, and you can take down these drones with you can put those machine guns in the wings or whatever. Potts in here is saying that's not right. They actually trade for a lot less, to be honest. Oh, are you talking? Yeah, I didn't think that. Okay, so I'm just reading what I'm. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, so look, guys, I'm literally just reading what I'm getting there. I think that 4 million tag is way off. I would say they're like 100 grand for that missile. I don't know how you can spend more on that. Anyway, look, guys, that's the numbers that are out there. I don't think they're right, but they're the numbers that I'm being told. And Endeavour to Preserve is saying, don't build your own purchases today, tomorrow, next week, and forever. I don't know what that means, but it sounds profound. I mean, I'm all up for it. One Pete Pope with it. Look, guys, I don't know. I know you guys can't listen. Just quickly, I am going to be jumping over to YouTube in a minute, and we're going to be continuing this live stream on YouTube. Because that's how we roll on this channel, guys. That is how we roll. So if you've not done so already, guys, I'm the Real Raven 1 on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven 1 on X. And I'm the Real Raven 1 on TikTok. So I will be closing this live stream down on TikTok in like a minute or a couple of minutes. And we will continue this live stream on YouTube where I can talk a little bit more, open. But one Peter Pope, I think this is the first time I've seen it, one of one Peter Pope's comments. All I'm going to say right now, before I get to one Peter Pope's comments, is you have the most fantastic thumbnail I've ever seen. Your picture is phenomenal. So now I'm going to read his comment. I don't know what his comment says. If reality is this bad, when do we wake up? Come on, there must be a time of a great awakening, or am I just rowing my boat? I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult to wake people up that are asleep. And a lot of people, when you wake them up, they want to go back to sleep. Metaphorically and like literally. But I do think the worse things get, the more people. I want to do like I wonder if there's like a Dunning-Kruger curve or something that would say like if we can get this amount of people to wake up and understand the bullshit before this date, we've got a chance. But if people wake up after that date, the draconian measures will be in place and the police state will be in place and nobody will be able to do anything. And look, guys, this all comes down to this digital ID. It really does. Like, if this digital identification is implemented and it's linked to our bank accounts and our services and our employment, doesn't matter about the police. They just turn your money off and you do as you're told because you want your money turned back on. Right, guys, I've got some real good questions over here on YouTube about Sadiq Khan. Could he be elected with British politics, etc.? So I am going to jump over now to... Okay, hang on. I'm just going to get James's comment and then I'm going to jump over to YouTube. So James is saying, Su-34 Russian jet shot down by Patriot system. The Patriot system that destroyed cost $1 billion. So what you've got to understand with the Patriot system, there's not just the missiles. There's the, you'll have two radar systems. So you'll have like a wide radar and a targeting radar. You may even have two targeting radars. You'll have a wide radar, a targeting radar. Then you'll have the cradle that the missiles go into, because obviously you need to point them somewhere because they kind of need to know where they're going. You'll have the computer system that sends that information to the missile so that that missile can lock on. So the whole system may cost $1 billion. Even that is high, guys. I think $1 billion is high. But the actual missile, I don't know, guys. I'm being told it's 4 million, so I'm going to go with that. I am going to go with 4 million because that's what's out there, but I struggle to see how that can actually be 4 million. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to jump over now to YouTube. You guys have been fantastic on TikTok. I am on early. Yes, I agree. That's how I roll. Sometimes I may be on early. Oh, and H is saying, I keep getting kicked from your live. H, I've never kicked anyone from the live stream. I will only kick people from the live and I will only mute them, actually, if they're being rude, offensive, or aggressive. But look, guys, I'm going to close this down now on TikTok. I'm going to jump over to YouTube on the Real Raven One on YouTube, and I hopefully see you there. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10. Right, that is off. Right, okay. So one of the questions here, good old silly Gallardi. She doesn't come bring some fantastic questions or comments. So silly Gallardi is saying, if Khan will be prime minister, doesn't it mean the majority elected him? No. So in UK politics, let's just rewind, actually. So under the Conservatives, the Conservative Party, the last run of the Conservative Party, they had 3 unelected prime ministers. They had, and by elected I mean elected by people. They had Boris Johnson. They had Theresa May. And they had Liz Truss. I will agree, Boris Johnson did have a general election. He did call for a general election, and that gave him a massive mandate. But still, he was put in charge without a general election. So the precedence is already there, guys, to have that, the precedence is already there to have a prime minister without a general election. So it's already there. And let's not forget, guys, okay, Boris Johnson was also mayor of London. So it may be a thing. Les is saying, I hope to God that Khan does not become the next prime minister, if he did, Britain would become a Muslim state. That's his aim. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to repeat what else he said. But it was in capital letters, so I felt like I needed to repeat a lot of it. Lisa Jane is saying we definitely need a referendum. So the thing with referendums, Lisa Jane, is people will only have a referendum if they're forced into it. And right now, I don't think the government would have a referendum because they know they're like, I think I would actually say that anything the government wants to referend, people will just be against it. From now, it's saying UK households flying St. George's Cross could be depanked. Give over. Is that real? And that, guys, listen, I'm going to give you guys some breaking news right now. This is breaking news. I have seen today the 2 best thumbnails that I've ever seen. From Now's thumbnail supersedes the one I just said. So you know how I just said the last thumbnail, what I was talking, the last thumbnail was the best? No. From Now's thumbnail is the best. I love that thumbnail. I don't know. It's just crazy, guys. It's crazy. Yeah, my cash is in gold and silver. It does seem like that is that's like a reality of the situation where we're heading right now. Oh no, hang on. J82 XOX is saying, imagine what Khan would push through into our education systems if he was PM. Imagine, imagine. Can you imagine what would be okay to happen to 9-year-old girls? Can you imagine if Sadiq Khan got in? Slim is saying, your YouTube is not a great place to live. Do you know what? I think, where is a great place to live? Norman Stansbury is saying, if Khan gets in as the prime minister, this country will erupt. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Who would erupt? Who would erupt and how and what would they do? Would they go and have protests in London? What if 100,000 people turned up and had a protest? What if 500,000 people turned up and had a protest? What if 1 million people turned up and had a protest? What if 5 million people went to London and protested? And we've seen this, guys. We've seen this direction of travel. Remember, we have a very small amount of people controlling the country right now. And when people say, what is democracy? Is democracy where people choose how they're governed? Because I could argue that that's not happening right now. James is saying Belarus is about to take in nuclear missiles. Listen, guys, I'm not going to mention on Belarus right now. I may do a at some point, I may do a very special live stream on, on Belarus. But right, guys, listen, I'm going to close this down now. You guys have been fantastic. I do apologize. I am cutting this a little bit short. I said I need to be out the house at 8 o'clock. I'm already 13 minutes late. I'm going to have to go into the house. I'm going to have to get my keys. I'm going to have to do a little bit of stuff. So I'm not going to be able to leave the house until it's going to take me like 4 to 7 minutes to leave the house, which means I'm not going to actually leave the house till probably 21 past. Got to open the gate, got to drive down, got to close the gate, got to put the lights on, got to put the security barrier over there. It's a faff to leave my house, ladies and gentlemen. But look, guys, the good thing about this is we are going to be back on tomorrow morning at 10. We're going to be live streaming. We're going to be talking about everything else that's happened in the last 24 hours or maybe even 8 hours. But look, guys, the crux of this live stream is not me talking about it now. Sadiq Khan warning, guys, okay? There are a lot of mainstream media articles now talking about rumors in rumors in
rumours in Westminster that Sadiq Khan is making his bid to be the next British Prime Minister. And if that doesn't give you nightmares, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, it's Halloween soon, and Atlas, 3i Atlas is on its way. I've heard some non-confirmed reports that it is actually slowing down. I think I'm going to talk about that tomorrow morning. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow morning.